The hallway of Maplewood Elementary buzzed with quiet conversations, nervous laughter, and the soft squeak of shoes on the polished floor. Parent-teacher night always had that same energy, a mixture of curiosity, pride, and a little anxiety. Daniel Carter adjusted the strap of the worn backpack hanging from his shoulder. It wasn't his, it belonged to his 7-year-old daughter, Lily, but he had picked it up on the way out of the car. "Daddy, my classroom is this way," Lily said excitedly, tugging his hand. Daniel smiled, even though his mind was elsewhere. Nights like this were never easy for him. Most of the parents walking through those halls came as couples, moms and dads together, talking about homework and soccer practice. Daniel came alone. He had been raising Lily by himself for 4 years now. Her mother had left when Lily was 3, chasing a new life in another state. At first Daniel had been angry, then heartbroken, and eventually just tired. But Lily had become his entire world. Okay, he laughed softly as she pulled him along the hallway. "Slow down, kiddo." They stopped outside classroom 3B. A neat sign on the door read, "Welcome, Parent-Teacher Night." Inside, colorful drawings covered the walls. Construction paper butterflies hung from the ceiling. "Go show your teacher your reading folder," Daniel told Lily. "Okay," she said before running inside. Daniel followed a moment later. Parents were already gathered around desks. A tall woman in a navy blazer stood near the whiteboard speaking with a group of parents. Her back faced him. Daniel didn't pay much attention at first. He was scanning the room for Lily's desk. Then the woman turned. And Daniel froze. For a moment, the noise in the room seemed to disappear. The woman's long dark hair fell neatly over her shoulders. Her posture was confident, her smile professional, but her eyes were the same. The same warm brown eyes he had known years ago. "Daniel," she said softly. His heart skipped. Emma. Emma Lawson. His high school sweetheart. The girl he once thought he would marry. The woman he hadn't seen in nearly 10 years. Daniel suddenly became aware of his wrinkled shirt and dusty work boots. He had come straight from his mechanic shop. Emma looked completely different, elegant, confident, successful. And judging from the way people were looking at her, important. "I can't believe it's you," Emma said, walking closer. Daniel forced a small smile. "Yeah. I didn't expect to see you here either." Before Emma could respond, another parent approached her. "Ms. Lawson, the board members are asking if you'll join them in the library." Daniel blinked. "Ms. Lawson? Board members?" Emma nodded politely. "I'll be there in a moment." The parent walked away. Daniel frowned slightly. "Board members?" Emma hesitated. "Well, it's kind of a long story." Before she could explain, Lily ran up to Daniel. "Daddy! Daddy! My teacher said I'm the best reader in the class." Daniel crouched down proudly. "Really? That's amazing." Lily then noticed Emma standing beside them. "And who's this?" Lily asked curiously. Emma smiled gently. "I'm Emma." Lily tilted her head. "Are you my teacher?" Emma laughed softly. "No, not exactly." Daniel rubbed the back of his neck awkwardly. "This is an old friend of mine." Emma looked at Lily for a moment. Something in her expression softened. "You must be Lily," she said. Lily's eyes widened. "How do you know my name?" Emma pointed toward a chart on the wall that displayed students' achievements. Right at the top was Lily Carter, Reading Champion. "I've been hearing a lot about you tonight," Emma said warmly. Lily beamed. Daniel stood up again, still slightly confused. "So, what are you doing here?" he asked. Emma hesitated again, clearly unsure how to say it casually. "Well, I'm actually here because... Before she finished, the classroom door opened and the principal stepped inside. "Ah, there you are, Ms. Lawson," he said with relief. Then he turned to the parents. "Everyone, I'd like to introduce someone very special. The new CEO of the Lawson Education Foundation, and the woman responsible for funding our school's entire renovation project." Daniel felt his stomach drop. The principal gestured proudly. "Please welcome Emma Lawson." A round of applause filled the room. Daniel stared in disbelief. "CEO?" Emma gave him an apologetic look. "I was going to explain." Daniel let out a quiet breath. "Wow." The principal continued speaking enthusiastically. "Ms. Lawson's foundation is investing millions into schools across the state. New classrooms, technology, scholarships, everything." Parents murmured with excitement. Meanwhile, Daniel felt like he had stepped into another world. The girl he once shared milkshakes with after football games was now running a multi-million-dollar foundation. Emma turned back toward him after the applause faded. "You disappeared after graduation," she said quietly. Daniel gave a small shrug. "Life happened." Emma looked like she wanted to ask more, but Lily interrupted again. "Daddy, can Emma see my drawing?" Daniel chuckled. "Of course." Lily ran to her desk and brought back a colorful picture. It showed a stick figure family, a dad and a little girl holding hands. Emma studied it carefully. "It's beautiful," she said. Lily pointed proudly. "That's my daddy fixing cars." Daniel smiled shyly. "And this one is you?" Emma asked. Lily nodded. "Daddy says we're a team." Emma's eyes flickered slightly. "That sounds like a pretty great team." For a moment none of them spoke. Then Emma turned back to Daniel. "Do you have a minute? Maybe we could talk." Daniel hesitated. Part of him wanted to leave. Seeing her again stirred memories he had buried years ago. But another part of him was curious. "Sure," he said. They stepped out into the hallway while Lily stayed inside coloring. For a moment they simply stood there. "You look good," Emma said. Daniel laughed awkwardly. "You're being polite." "I'm serious." He glanced down at his hands. "They're usually covered in engine oil." Emma smiled. "You always liked fixing things." Daniel looked at her. "And you always liked changing the world." Emma sighed softly. "I guess we both followed our paths." There was a pause. Then Emma asked quietly, "What happened to Lily's mom?" Daniel's expression shifted. "She left." Emma didn't press further. "I'm sorry." Daniel shrugged. "It was a long time ago." He looked at her again. "What about you? CEO of a foundation, that's not exactly small news." Emma leaned against the wall. "My father started the company years ago. When he passed away, I took over." Daniel nodded slowly. "You must be doing pretty well." Emma studied him for a moment. "You know what's funny?" "What?" "You're still the same person I remember." Daniel raised an eyebrow. "And you're not?" Emma smiled faintly. "Maybe I am." Inside the classroom, Lily suddenly waved at them through the window. Emma laughed. "She's adorable." Daniel's face softened. "She's everything." Emma looked thoughtful. "You did all this alone?" "Yeah." For a moment Emma seemed genuinely impressed. "You always were stronger than you realized." Daniel looked away. "Some days it doesn't feel like that." The principal appeared again down the hallway. "Ms. Lawson, we're ready for you in the library." Emma nodded. "I'll be there." She turned back to Daniel. "Hey, would you maybe want to grab coffee sometime?" Daniel blinked in surprise. Coffee? Emma smiled nervously. Just to catch up. Daniel thought about it. Years ago they had planned a whole future together, college, careers, a house. But life had taken them in completely different directions. And yet, standing here again didn't feel strange. It felt familiar. Finally he nodded. Yeah. Emma smiled, relief in her eyes. Good. Just then Lily ran into the hallway. Daddy. My teacher says we can go. Emma knelt down to Lily's level. It was really nice meeting you, Lily. You too. Lily said. Then she whispered loudly to Daniel. Daddy, is Emma your girlfriend? Daniel nearly choked. Emma burst into laughter. Not yet, she teased. Daniel turned bright red. Emma stood up again. I should go before I get in trouble with the board. She started walking away, then turned back. Daniel? Yeah. I'm really glad you walked into this school tonight. Daniel looked at Lily beside him. Then back at Emma. Me too. As Emma disappeared down the hallway toward the library, Daniel felt something he hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. Sometimes life doesn't give you a second chance. But sometimes, it walks right back into your life when you least expect it.